Up next, here's Ed speaking to the Chief Marketing Officer of esports investment company New Wave Holdings. Enjoying the show, everybody? Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram.
New Wave Holdings Corp. is a privately held gaming and esports company founded in 2018 with offices in Toronto and Los Angeles. The company provides capital funds and support services to esports companies, organizations, teams, leagues, and esports technology. The company is currently in the process of completing an RTO and plans to list on the Canadian Stock Exchange.
Joining me now, Dan Mitre, CMO, New Wave Holdings. CMO stands for Chief Marketing Officer. You're a 16-year veteran of the space, correct?
Correct.
And you're based in Southern California, and that's sort of the epicenter of new sports. Fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say esports is a global affair.
And you said earlier you thought it's bigger in Europe and in Asia than it is in North America.
Absolutely, hands down. Yeah, I mean, you have Asia that's a good 20 years ahead of us. Plus, they've adopted esports back with the StarCraft scene.
Right.
They have massive teams and massive organizations and a great economy over there. Europe is just behind them. Europe has very much adopted that. There's an audience that loves to watch esports and play in esports, and now we're seeing it hit the North American front. We're still relatively in an incubative state. Yeah. But you have massive companies that see the potential in North America and are jumping on that. Same with New Wave Holdings.
So it's an industry I know it's growing rapidly. Mm-hmm. I keep getting newspaper clippings about women are now big into esports is a sort of a potential new market, but it's big. It's all over, and New Wave is a company. It's still private, but we're going to go public here shortly. We've identified a company that's now halted on the venture, and I guess all the regulatory work is being done, and eventually True Claim, which is TRM, is going to become New Wave Holdings.
Correct, yeah. So we have a definitive agreement that we're locking down, and we plan to go public here within the next several months.
And some money's been raised for New Wave.
Right.
And you're the CM. So like, what are you doing? You're looking for investments? Is that the idea?
Yeah. So New Wave Holdings, if the tagline would be, we're an esports and gaming investment company.
Right.
And so what we're doing is we're taking great shell money and putting capital into companies that we believe is going to innovate the space. They're ethical, they're professional, but they also have something unique to them. So we placed 3 investment, and we have 1 acquisition underneath the belt. One is with Team Title.
Right.
They own Team Lazarus.
Right.
So this is an actual team, very diverse. And like you said, they have one of the first women's esports teams that are competing on a global level in games.
When these teams compete, are they competing in one area, or are they competing in different areas?
Multiple areas, yeah. So it's good for a company to be durably kind of diverse in the different games they play, because games come and go. And games have updates to them, and proficiencies in those games change. Yeah. So they play a wide swath of different games, and that's good for them.
Yeah. What was the famous game where, I can't remember, but it had to do with cars being stolen and...
Grand Theft Auto.
Was that a very big thing?
Huge, and it still is. So the team at Rockstar has done an incredible job at turning this game into an amazing live service in which they still turn monetization, MTX, in-game that makes a load of money to this day, and it creates awesome experiences for people to come back and keep playing and engaging in that. Now, Grand Theft Auto is not an esport game. It's not played competitively, but that's the kind of hook that you want in esports.
Right. And maybe this is a bit off topic, but like lots of times I see, they advertise these games and they say download for free. Mm-hmm. But is that just to get you in, and then if you want to get into different levels, you've got to then pay?
Okay, so from a consumer standpoint, many years ago you had games that say download for free, and then they had very aggressive paywalls. And in order to be better at the game, you had to buy a certain item.
Right.
That didn't go well, especially with the American populace. And so now you have games like Apex, which is developed out of California by a team called Respawn, and they released the game completely download for free.
Right.
But where they make money is all in cosmetics and microtransactions that only affect the way your player and your gun looks. You cannot pay to win. And that's important for esports. You can never pay to win because then you're just, it doesn't come down to skill.
Right. You can't buy yourself a victory.
No. Yeah. And we don't want that in North America. We don't want it in Europe. And in some areas in Asia, that's fine. But I think what we're seeing from a global level, esports is all about skill. It will always be about skill, and you have to remove those buy-in variable factors.
So you've been, you told me you're a young man. You're mid-30s. You've been involved in this space for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 16 years.
So you must have seen a lot of transition in those years.
I have. Yeah. I saw the transition from box product to digital. So we went from the traditional retail box to more of the digital downloads, and that's really helped a lot of publishers and developers get their game out there much easier, faster, and distribute globally. Then I saw the big transition from the influencer space. So it was all one-way marketing, you're marketing with on-site ads or physically based stuff.
Right.
To influencers, you got gamers who make a living on Twitch and YouTube, and those are now your new messaging vehicles because they have quality audiences. And so you have all these big transitions, and now esports is that next big one. You've seen it get big in Asia, you see it get big in Europe, now we're seeing it big in North America. It's a very complex ecosystem too. So you have all those influencers that have those awesome audiences, and now esports teams are saying, hey, we want you a part of our team because you have a built-in audience, you're also damn good at the game, come over here and play PUBG for us. And so you do have all these trends that are evolving still.
So different players on a team might be specialized in different sports.
Correct, yeah.
So they're not all playing the same sport on the same team?
No.
Okay.
In fact, some athletes play multiple games. So they diversify even their skill set. So some play PUBG, some play Call of Duty, some play Fortnite. And as an athlete, you want to make yourself as attractive as possible. Because what you're going to see is kind of the mentality of traditional sports. Teams are going to be trading players, and you're going to have different draft and rosters every single year.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect valuation of teams.
So as a new company in this space, there aren't many companies that are public in this space, I understand. This is early. So if you want to participate in the growing phenomenon of esports, New Wave Holdings could be a possible venue.
I think it's a very attractive venue. The reason being, whether you're an accredited investor, you're an angel, or you're an institution or some sort of hedge fund, there's nothing stopping you from going out and just investing in that single team. But if you don't know anything about esports, or say, you're a little hesitant to placing an investment because you want to place the right investment, that's why you turn to a company like New Wave Holdings. I have 16 years of gaming experience. I know the trends. My teammates, Trumbull Fisher, our president, he's 14 years in the investment capital markets world. Our CEO, Tolga Onik, he's from the development app world. So we vet all of these investment opportunities and give you the best opportunity to see a return on that investment. So why not go to the guys who know the industry the best, instead of just kind of, maybe this is a risk.
Sure. Yeah. It looks like the time is right. A lot of people are fascinated. I mean, the parties, the online experience, et cetera. So we're lagging Asia, we're lagging Europe, but it's now coming onto its own here.
Yeah, and with the proliferation of obviously internet audiences, the walls of region-based lock and messaging that just stays within that region has been broken down. This is a global affair, and so we need to get North America up on that. And you have companies like Comcast who are investing in arenas like in Philadelphia. It's coming to North America, so you're going to see audiences go out, put their pants on to go to these events, partake, they're buying tickets, they're buying merchandise, they're latching onto personalities that they believe in. So like we saw in a lot of sports, I love Michael Jordan because of his personality and his skill at a game. There are new Michael Jordans coming up in the esports world.
Isn't there something big happening in May in Toronto too? Like some kind of and maybe I'm getting something mixed up, but I thought there was something big coming in.
There is. So one of our portfolio companies, EMG, Even Matchup Gaming, run by a dear colleague, Joe, and one of our advisors, Neil, Neil Duffy, they're running Toronto's biggest Super Smash Brothers Ultimate tournament. And it's going to be here in downtown Toronto at the exhibition place.
Yeah.
We have about 1,000 to 1,500 people coming out, competing, playing a Nintendo-branded game, and potentially walking away as the crowned victor of Get On My Level.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So we're early days. We can look to see New Wave maybe trading in 3 weeks.
Or trading in several months.
Yeah. So I meant 3 months. 3 months. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for the update. Thanks for telling us about esports. I'm paying a lot more attention.
Ed, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.